everyone, this is Melody with Dice Party. We are a new podcast that's coming out, and we just kind of sit around and play role-playing tabletop games with each other. Today I'm sitting down to do an interview with our fearless leader, also known as the Bearded GM, to give you an exclusive sneak peek into the Dice Party podcast. Hopefully this will give you some just behind-the-scenes information about our game, and we hope that it will make you want to tune in and check out the Dice Party podcast once it releases. All right, Bearded GM. So, where did you come up with the idea for this campaign?
Okay, first off, I just want to say some strong words at the very beginning. Fearless leader, probably not going to say that's accurate.
Bearded leader.
So, the idea for the campaign actually came from a mixture of places. What happened was the players, you yourself included in one of them, mainly the other two, the Cloak and Mint players, got together and had an idea about realm travel and things of that nature. And we really liked that idea, and it was really cool. At the time, I was playing a lot of God of War, and there's a lot of realm travel in that game. So it was really fun. I kind of wanted to do something different because in D&D, which is what we're playing, D&D 5e, specifically in this podcast, we do a lot of realm traveling as a whole. Like, you go from whatever the Nine Hells or the Feywild or things of that nature. And I thought, okay, that's kind of been there, done that, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for creation because, yeah, I can take you to the Feywild, but I'm bound by those rules. I can't make anything up. I guess I could as the GM, but that's not really the point. I wanted to go somewhere where we could do what we wanted. And that's where, in this podcast, we do reality travel. It's like alternate realities, alternate universes, but I kind of go to the extreme with it. Just for a sneak peek into the future, the very first stop our heroes make is to a place called the Breakfast Reality, or the Breakfast Realm. And it is a place inhabited solely by breakfast foods. So you will see that whenever it comes to one of the first few episodes.
So how's the campaign been going so far? Has it gone the way you planned?
Probably not. It never does. Anyone who has ever been a GM knows it is never going to go the way you plan. In the immortal words of Leonard Snart, the Captain Cold of the Flash universe, make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
So I see you've DM'd with Cloak before.
I have DM'd with all of you plenty of times. And I've had many other Cloaks in my life as well. But I have also gotten used to this group of jokers. Because we are all, for those listening, we're all personal friends in real life. We've been playing for years. And I just kind of know what to expect from these guys, and yet that is to not expect anything. So I just kind of just go with what I feel, where I think they might want to go, and then when I find out that's not the right way, I'm hurriedly scribbling things in my mind, just trying to fix it. So that's pretty much where I'm at all times, in a constant state of panic.
So who is your favorite character so far in the campaign? Either a non-playable character or one of the characters. We won't. There will be no hard feelings at all.
Okay. Pancake Wizard. 100% of the time. No, I, as much as I love my players, I love my friends, I am the funniest person to me.
Okay.
So I make the Pancake Wizard, and I love him to death. And for anyone else who hears the Pancake Wizard in our show, you too will fall in love. Plushies will be available sometime soon. That is not true. I would love to make a plushie of the Pancake Wizard, though, so if I know anybody who would like to design that, please contact us. But yes, I think that I actually really love all the player characters, and I can't really pick a favorite between all three of you. But I do love how I'm able to kind of have the freedom to do what I want in this game. That's one thing I love about playing TTRPGs in general, is making up whoever you want. There's a giant crew of cloned people, known as the Jack Marii now. There is, of course, Kirby, the gnome, who is the tinkerer, who is the person who helps fix all the tech stuff. And then there's also the Pancake Wizard, who is the delegate from the Breakfast Realm. And so it just, I get to be crazy and weird with all these people, and I absolutely love it. Especially even those people that I don't think are going to be important, and then they get dragged along because they went on a random date with someone.
Gee, so, I wonder what episode we could be talking about.
That's not a pointed comment.
Not at all.
Not leading the witness at all.
Okay. So how do you feel about the player chemistry and the interactions between the different players so far?
So obviously we know each other in real life and have for a while. So I already knew it wasn't going to be a hard time to find cohesion. I just didn't know how these specific characters were going to cohese, I know that I've played with Melody specifically, that character, in other campaigns. This is actually her second campaign she's in. And I knew who she was as a person already, and I knew that there was going to be tension between her and the other players, or the other characters, I should say specifically, because of just how she plays and how it's presented, that character specifically. And I knew there was going to be contrast there, and I'm like, that's going to make for a good time, in my opinion. It has thus far. It has been quite fun to see the back and forth between the characters, and to get them to a point where they not only are just traveling companions forced to go on a job, but also come, very fast friends. And it's actually really cool to see.
So without giving away too many spoilers, what can we expect this season on Dice Party? I know you've already kind of touched on that a little bit.
You can expect a bunch of friends to have a good time together and get a feel for their characters and learn how to just navigate worlds and be uncomfortable with the uncomfortable. Or be comfortable with the uncomfortable, I should say. Hey, this is different for me. How do I navigate this?
It sounds like there might be a lot of shenanigans going on.
Shenaniganery, none to be found here.
In my opinion, that always makes for the best D&D campaigns.
Not in my house.
So what has been your biggest challenge while running this specific campaign?
This is the first one we've ever recorded long term, and I'm absolutely satisfied with it and happy with it. I just know that it's been kind of a challenge to keep things in a timely manner and everything like that. Because when you're doing a home game, there's no schedule. You just play until you have fun. But in this kind of setting, you're trying to make sure you have a presentable program for everybody. It's a little bit difficult in that regard, but I can tell you that as far as the story itself, coming up with stuff, having this fun little worlds, it's been a blast, and I love being able to play with my friends and having an excuse to play on a regular basis. I don't get to do that. I'm an adult with a life, so it's just kind of weird.
And again, without giving away too many spoilers, what's been your favorite part of the campaign so far?
That's kind of a weird one to be able to pinpoint, because the campaign has thus far, we've been on we're 15 sessions in or something like that, or approaching that.
I think so. Yeah,
we're approaching 15 at some point by the time of this recording, which means we've gone on quite a few things and we've spread ourselves pretty far. So to pinpoint a specific part is kind of difficult for me. I would say that I think my favorite part of the game as a whole is I don't know where it's going. I do know that, I know where I'm wanting it to go, but I have players who have their own agency, and they decide to take the wheel from me. I'm sitting in the driver's seat, all of a sudden the steering wheel's missing, and I find out the fire giant, who is actually a grung, is sitting on the roof with it planted in the ceiling and has somehow found a way to drive the cart without me knowing it. So that's who I am at this point.
So it's like you never know what you're gonna get.
No, absolutely not. But I can tell you my favorite part has been the randomness of it. I like how I have a story which is just, hey, we need to fix our problems, but also there's a bit of a subplot going on, and you find out more and more about that, not only across season 1, but also into season 2 as well. So don't expect to get the whole story at once. You have to stick around and listen if you want to get the entire feel of everything.
And as a player, just on a note to end with, I have to admit that I have found myself, even as we're playing, just literally not wanting to stop. I mean, you've probably seen that as the GM. One of our players, he's the oldest of the group, and he's always like, okay, I want to go home and go to bed. It's like midnight. And I'm over across the table going, no, we need to find out what happens here. And so I hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully our listeners will feel the same. But I've just really enjoyed it. It's been a really fun ride.
You're just curious how deep the rabbit hole goes, And
maybe so, yeah.
You have taken the red pill, and just...
Well, thank you for sitting down with us today, and hopefully this will give our listeners a little bit more information about the podcast. And thank you all for joining us for this interview of the Bearded GM. I really hope that you liked what you heard and that you'll check out our new podcast called Dice Party. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and if you follow us on those platforms, you'll be up to date as soon as we start dropping episodes. Once we start posting the episodes, you'll be able to have them on YouTube and all of your favorite podcasting platforms.
I'm having a blast with everything. I'm glad you guys joined us for this interview. Thank you, Miss Melody, for asking me questions and making me feel special and important.